Hello, my name is Kim Van Zant, and today I'm going to demonstrate how to create a tiled photo gallery using HTML and CSS for your website. And I'll explain in a little bit what I mean by tiled photo gallery. But I just want to mention that before you start this, you should be familiar with how to create a website or getting started with it. For the purposes of this demonstration, we're going to be using a kitten gallery HTML file and a kitten CSS.css file. CSS stands for Cascading Style Sheets. The difference between the HTML and the CSS is that the HTML file will hold your content, and the CSS file will be the properties and how it responds to within the web page environment. Okay, and if you haven't guessed by now, the images we're going to use for our gallery are these cute little kittens in a image folder. Okay. We're going to jump into Dreamweaver, which is my preferred editing software. You can see up here in the tab, I have the Kitten Gallery HTML file open and the CSS file opening, but nothing's really happening in them. But however, I am going to use a split screen to show you, enter code over here on the HTML side and the CSS side. And then we can watch what happens here. And also we're going to have a browser window to view our contents as though we are looking at it from the web. So let's jump right in to working in our CSS file over here to enter the code. First thing we're going to do is put a container tag. Basically, we're going to have this on the website so that our other property or other content will fit into this tag so that it all does the same thing. A display block code line right here, it means it will be responsive as you open, close the page or make it wider, narrow, whatever, or use it for other devices. It will respond accordingly. You'll see that. A margin left and right auto means it stays centered. And we're going to work with a 90% width on this page so that we have some white bars on the side. Okay. Jumping onto the source code, we have to throw in that container. We're working within the body tags here. So we're going to put, that's just standard protocol. We're going to put a container beginning. Putting some spaces down, and in the end tag for the container here. Also, just for reference here, you can see literally we have a reference in the code on the HTML page that references the kitten CSS file that we are making. So the properties will attribute to the content we are building on the HTML page. If we click in here, we see really nothing going on, but it has produced a bar or a line up here. Okay, so that's the invisible container. You wouldn't see anything on the website right now. I'm going to just save it though, both of them. Now going back to the CSS side, we are going to grab another class here. Took a little extra. Okay, this is an image class. Basically, every picture from those kittens that you saw is going to have this applied to it, where it's a width of 100%, a height of 100%, object fit is like a mask over it, because when we see the display when on different sizes, it crops out the rest of it and just shows what's in the dimensions we're going to put in. And also a border. It's going to be, I think it's a black border, 5 pixels so that you can see the separation. It looks nicer that way. And the next thing we're going to throw into the CSS side is an image box. This picture will be inside of this image box. And this is where you see the difference of the tiles when you see the previews. It has a width of 33% and a height of 505 pixels. Okay, you can make different rectangles for different sizes like this, and a float to the left means it snaps to the left. That keeps the pictures together and doesn't put them on other lines. All right. Back to the HTML, we have the container, but let's throw in our first picture. Inside of the container, we put in the class another container inside of a container, basically. That's an image box 1 that we showed you on the CSS side, and then the image reference of a kit1 picture, which has the class of image1, okay, which was on the CSS side. When you click over here, you can see it throws in our first image. I'm going to save this file, so I want to show you something really quick. I'm going to open up the browser, and there's a picture as though you were viewing it online, and you can see now that when I change the size, it changes also accordingly, and it has a buffer, a margin on this side. Okay, very good. It's working. Let's go back to the CSS side and throw in an image box for the next picture. These image boxes are individual per picture. You'll see why. However, every image is going to use the class image1. This image2 box for the next picture is 33% across, but it only has a height of 250 pixels, and it also snaps to the left. Back to the source code. I'm just going to copy this, drop down. This is the end of the container, so we don't want to mess with that. V, we're going to change this to image2 and kitten to image. And there you go. We're going to save all and go back to the browser, and you can see what's happening. Okay. We have 2 images now in different dimensions, but they respond. So we're moving along. Back to the CSS side. We are going to add image box 3, and this also has a few extra different dimensions. It has a 34%. Here's a good rule of thumb. When we're doing this first row up here, we want to make it add up to about 100% across. Okay, so that's why these have these different things. You'll figure it out if you play with it, different sizes and stuff. But basically, this first set is like almost 100% across. All right, go back to the source code. Copy that. Drop down a couple spaces, Control V, change this to image box 3 and kitten picture 3, and boom, there's the third picture. Save all. Browser time, and there it is. We now have a centered gallery on these 3 pictures that goes across. You can see the margin here, margin there, and they are responsive. Now to save some time, we have 6 pictures. I'm going to do the last 3 all at once. We're on the CSS side, add a space. We added image box 4, 5, and 6, and they have, again, different properties. Even this one has a float to the right. That means it snaps to the right because that way pictures won't go down to the next line, whatever, when you're trying to fit them across. Again, play with it. You'll understand it as you play with it more. So we take that period out, though. Go back to the source code, and we're going to do this. We're going to grab all 3 of these guys. Space, throw in, and we're going to change these accordingly to 4 and 4, 5 and 5, 6 and 6. Click over here. Okay, it threw those in for us. Let's save all and look at the browser. Hey, look at that. it put in these pictures in this tiled, what I'd like to call, for lack of a better word, a tiled web gallery, like a mosaic kind of thing, as long as it equals, makes the final result is like a square here. Now, really quick, one of the last things I just want to talk about is if you're looking at this and you're thinking, well, maybe I have to size up, have special pictures for every single one of these to fit into the different dimensions. Maybe, I may have to make sure the verticals are in the vertical and the horizontals are in horizontal. That is not true. If we did this, now we number these pictures going kit 1, kit 2, kit 3, kit 4. Let's go in reverse. Let's go start at 6 and go down 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 6. We're putting the pictures in, we're rearranging the pictures now. Whoops, sorry about that. Box, this is box 3. We want this to say 4, the kitten picture is 4. This one will be 3, 2, and 1. If I did that right, the website hopefully won't be destroyed. You can see the pictures changed in their positions. Save all, browser, and yes. You can throw just about any picture you want, rearrange it, change the locations of them if you wanted a certain one in the right corner versus the left, and this and that. As long as you set up this template and copy the code that I showed you, you can throw in any picture you want into them. Well, I thank you very much for watching. Have a good day.